Welcome to my channel.
All right, today we're diving into something that can completely change the game for you. I'm talking about your career, your relationships, even the way you think about yourself. We're going to talk about mastering emotional intelligence. Think of it as this untapped superpower that honestly separates the good from the truly great. You know that feeling, right? You walk in, nobody's even said a word, but you just know something's up. Or, maybe you've met one of those people who can just click with anyone, instantly making them feel seen and heard. That's not magic. It's emotional intelligence. It's the ability to read the unspoken language that's all around us.
For the longest time, we were all obsessed with IQ. How book smart you are. But it turns out that's not the whole story, not even close. The people who really truly succeed, they have something more. They have EQ, people smarts. It's the difference between just knowing stuff and knowing how to connect with the people you share this world with.
So what is this thing exactly? Well, at its core, emotional intelligence is like your own personal GPS system. First, it helps you recognize and really understand what you're feeling. Then, it gives you the tools to manage those feelings so they don't run the show. And it doesn't stop there. It's also about tuning into what others are feeling and using that insight to build better, stronger relationships.
Okay, so the whole journey to mastering EQ, it starts in one place and one place only, inside you. Before you can even begin to understand someone else, you have to get real about understanding yourself. This is self-awareness. It is the absolute foundation for everything else we're going to talk about.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. Think about it. How are you supposed to manage your frustration if you don't even realize you're frustrated until you've already snapped at someone? Self-awareness is like flipping a light switch in a dark room. All of a sudden, you can actually see what's going on in there.
Here is a super simple but incredibly powerful thing you can start doing today, right now. Just a couple of times a day, hit the pause button, take one deep breath, and ask yourself, what am I actually feeling right now? Then try to get specific. Don't just settle for good or bad. Is it disappointed, anxious, maybe even a little excited? Just the act of naming an emotion takes away so much of its power over you. It puts you back in the driver's seat.
So once you can see your emotions, the next step is learning how to manage them. Now, this isn't about ignoring what you feel or stuffing it down. It's about feeling your feelings without letting them dictate your every move. It's about learning to tame that inner world, especially when things get intense.
Have you ever just snapped and a second later thought, whoa, where did that come from? Well, that's a real thing. It's a neurological event called an amygdala hijack. In a fraction of a second, the emotional fight-or-flight part of your brain, that's the amygdala, completely takes over before your logical, thinking brain can even get a word in. EQ is the skill that helps you stop that hijack before it happens.
I love this metaphor because it explains it perfectly. Think about it. A thermometer just reflects the temperature of the room. If the room is hot and chaotic, the thermometer just reads hot and chaotic. But a thermostat senses the temperature and then it changes it. It sets the tone. People with high EQ are thermostats. They can feel the emotional temperature of a situation, but then they choose how to respond.
Now, get this. According to neuroscientist Dr. Jill Bolt-Taylor, when you feel an emotion, like a flash of anger, the actual chemical process in your body only lasts for about 90 seconds. That's it. Any feeling that lasts longer than that is because we are consciously choosing to replay the story in our head that keeps that emotion going. So if you could just ride that 90-second wave without reacting, the initial storm will pass.
All right, so once you start getting a handle on your own inner world, you can start building bridges to the world outside. This is where your EQ becomes this amazing tool for creating real, meaningful connections with other people.
And the absolute key to all of this connection stuff is empathy. Empathy is so much more than just being nice. It's the incredible ability to truly understand and share what another person is feeling. It's what transforms a surface-level chat into a genuine human connection. And this is such a crucial difference to understand. Sympathy is, well, it's kind of like pity from a safe distance. You feel for someone. Empathy is connection. You feel with someone. So, say your friend loses their job. Sympathy sounds like, oh, that's too bad. Hope it works out. Empathy sounds like, wow, that must be so stressful. I'm here with you. See the difference? One creates distance, the other one builds a bridge.
So how do you build that empathy muscle? By learning to read the signals people are constantly sending. The truth is, most of what we communicate isn't in our words. It's in their facial expressions, the way they hold themselves. Is their tone of voice matching what they're saying? Learning to read these social cues is like learning a whole new language, the language of emotion.
Okay, so you've been doing the work. You're getting to know yourself. You're managing your reactions. You're connecting with others. So what's the big reward? This is where emotional intelligence stops being a soft skill and becomes a life-changing superpower.
This is just, wow. One huge study found that for leadership positions, emotional intelligence accounted for almost 90% of the difference between the star performers and the, just average ones. It wasn't their IQ, it wasn't their technical skills, it was their EQ that set them apart. 90%. And the benefits are so real and they stretch into every corner of your life. People with high EQ don't just become better leaders, they actually earn more money. They build stronger, happier relationships. They feel less stress and burnout. They're better at navigating conflict. And yeah, they just report being more satisfied with their lives overall. This isn't just about getting ahead at work. It's about having a better life.
If you only remember one single thing from all of this, please let it be this. Emotional intelligence is not something you're just born with or without. It is not a fixed trait. It is a skill. And just like any other skill, like learning an instrument or a new language, it can be practiced, developed, and mastered. Anyone can do this.
When you boil it all down, it really comes back to this one simple idea. That tiny space between something happening to you and how you react to it, that's where all your power is. That single moment where you can just breathe, think, and choose a response instead of having a knee-jerk reaction, that pause is everything.
So you have the map now. You get the ideas, you see the steps, and you know what's at stake. Just by listening to this, your journey has already started. So the only real question left is, what's your first step going to be? What's one small thing you're going to do today? Maybe it's that little emotional check-in we talked about. Whatever it is, the time to start is right now.